Welcome to our the Oregon Public Library's summer special event for our summer library program, which is still going on. And just a couple reminders about that. You can still sign up and do it. If you're reading, get your coupon packs because Dane County Fair is next week. And then at the end of the month, July 31st, is the Mallards game that you have a ticket. You can earn a ticket for. So you can pick up prizes anytime the library is open. But I'm really excited today because we have a world yo-yo champion, Mark Hayward. Woo! And we were able to bring him to Oregon because of our friends of the Oregon Public Library. So let's give a big hand for the friends. This one is very important. If you don't know, the bathrooms, like where you came in, they're to your right. So if you need the bathrooms, they're just right through there. But now, let's not wait anymore. Let's give it a round for Mark!
Hello. My name is Mark Hayward. I am a world yo-yo champion. It's true, my mom is proud. And what I want to do to start things off is I'm going to do a few yo-yo warm-up tricks. So I'm going to make some pictures with the yo-yo string. If you know what the picture is, just yell it out. How many people here have seen me before? Perhaps at summer school with Mike Solheim? All right, a few people. So this is the one part of the show where if you know the answer and other people don't know it, you might just keep the secret to yourself for a little bit and give other people a chance to answer if you've seen it before. All right, so we'll start off with an easy picture trick. What's that? A star, exactly, nice work. All right, here's another one. What's that? Right, a bow or a bow tie, either one is correct. And now an international trick. Eiffel Tower or rocket, either one is correct. Now, for extra credit, does anybody know who built the Eiffel Tower? Just yell it out if you know. Mr. Eiffel, yes, nicely done. Okay, here's another one. See if you can tell what this is. Scissors, used to cut paper. Woo! All right, are you ready for a tough one? Yeah, do you want a kind of tough one or a really tough one? All right, two possible right answers for this. What's that? Yeah, which flag? The British flag, exactly. It's also known as the Union Jack, and if anybody was thinking Jamaica, that's sort of kind of, no, that's wrong. Okay, final warm-up trick. This is the toughest one of all. Make sure you got your brains on straight. What's that? It looks like a bow tie. It's actually my bikini. Will the fun ever start? Well, there are three famous classic yo-yo tricks, and possibly everybody's favorite yo-yo trick is walk the dog. And I happen to hold the Guinness World Record for the furthest distance to walk the dog with a yo-yo, 27.2 feet. I'm in the 2020 Guinness Book of World Records, page 103, if you want to look it up. And there's another version of that trick that everyone can do at home. You just take your yo-yo, you set it down on the ground, you drag it, and you've got walk the slug. Yeah, not too tough. And another famous classic trick that you might recognize is rock the baby. Isn't that cute? And rock the baby leads to another trick as well. From there, we go into this one, the spider's web. And then, to bring those two tricks together, I've got this one, rock the spider baby. Usually people clap for this one. And the third famous classic yo-yo trick is around the world. But check this out, you ready? Around the world, twice. Do you want to see that trick backwards? Yeah? I'm just kidding, it was a joke. I'm going to do it again, but this time for real, and this time the cool way. This time with style. So I'll start off in one direction, switch it up, and the style. Don't worry, we're going to get to questions and requests in a little bit, so just keep it in your brain, we'll get back to it. Now, is anyone here by any chance from Wisconsin? Oh wow, yeah, everybody, okay, nice. Well, I'm a Wisconsin guy, born and raised in Madison. I've got a couple Wisconsin yo-yo tricks for you. The first one's about winter. It snows, it gets cold, people like to ski. And one of the things that you need before you ski is a ski lift. Has anyone here ever heard of Roswell, New Mexico? Anybody? Yeah. Who knows what Roswell's famous for? Somebody yell it out. Supposedly, in 1947, the aliens crashed in Roswell. So this is my Roswell trick, the flying saucer. Want to see it again? I hear a lot of you wondering if I can do DNA. We don't know yet, do we? So, perhaps the toughest yo-yo trick there is this one right here. It's called Shoot the Moon. It's known by another name as well. It's also known as the nose breaker. Yeah, there are a lot of ugly yo-yo guys out there. But yo-yoing doesn't really get tough until you start doing it with two. That's pretty good, but let's try that again, this time together, as a group, with gusto, two. Nice. Two yo-yos, one in each hand. I'm gonna start with the big trick, the two-handed throwdown. Yeah. I know, you're blown away, but check it out. There are all kinds of variations. You can do right leg forward, left leg forward, leg in the air, eyes closed. Hope you like it, because it's all I know. I'm just kidding. I appreciate the pity applause, but I can actually do a whole bunch of two-hand tricks. The first one I want to show you is one that I call two-hand yo-yo trick number one. Are you with me so far? Yeah, okay, number one looks like this. And the cool thing about this trick is that every single time I do it, people clap. Thank you. I love milking the applause. Must be a Wisconsin thing. Anyway, moving right along to two-hand yo-yo trick number two. Nice work. I don't know how this looks from out there, but from my angle, it looks pretty sweet. And a lot of tricks that can be done with one hand can also be done with two. This trick, when done with one hand, is called hop the fence. But when I do the same trick with both hands, the name changes, and it becomes my second Wisconsin yo-yo trick, and it's called milk the cow. The next trick is known officially in all of the yo-yo trick books as 7 years with no social life. Clearly worth every minute. Would you like to see my toughest trick? Yeah? Well, it starts off the same way as that last one, but this one is called the crossover. Oh wait, hold on, messed it up. Sometimes even professionals make mistakes. What matters is not if you make a mistake. What matters is what you do about it. So I'm going to try it again. I need a volunteer. I'm looking for somebody about yay big, someone who's very brave, and someone who's not afraid of a little pain. Like you! You want to help me out? Come on up. Let's hear it from my volunteer. Hi. How are you? Good. What's your name? Ariana. Nice to meet you, Ariana. Ariana, we are going to do a trick together about the big storms that they get in Florida. You've heard of a hurricane, right? Do you know what's right in the middle of a hurricane? I'll give you a hint. The eye, exactly. So hurricanes are these huge storms, hundreds of miles across, and right in the middle there's a hole, and the hole is called the eye of the storm. And in the eye, it's perfectly calm, there are clear skies, no winds, but all around the eye, Ariana, winds can get over 200 miles an hour. Pretty powerful storm. So your job is you're going to be the eye of the storm. So you stand right how you are, perfectly calm, clear skies, no winds, not moving. And while you're doing that, I'm going to be over here, and I'm going to be Mr. 200 mile an hour winds. So, Ariana, since I'm the storm, and you are the eye of the storm, can you guess where you get to stand? Right in the middle. Take a faithful step forward, Ariana. Nice. So what you're gonna see is a yo-yo whizzing back and forth in front of your face at 200 miles an hour. As you can see, Ariana's natural reaction is to lean backward. But you know why you don't want to do that? Because at the same time, there's going to be another yo-yo right behind your head. And the thing is, Ariana, I don't usually name my yo-yos, but this yo-yo's name is Skull Crusher. I don't know. Maybe that's not a good name for a yo-yo in a family show. Do you think you should have a different name? Yeah. Do you have any suggestions for what the name should be? I was thinking maybe Princess Sparkle Pony. No, okay, we'll stick with Skull Crusher. All right, so, and Ariana, this is kind of between you and me, is we're up here, and we know how exciting all this is, but the people laying back may not fully appreciate the excitement. So for their sake, once I get the yo-yos going, could you just look scared? You're doing it already. Okay, that's good. And Ariana's going to need a little help from all of you, staying calm. Once I get the yo-yos going around Ariana's tender head, if you could all just clap, and this is the best part, you ready? They're all going to keep clapping. I'll catch the yo-yos, and then you and I are going to raise all four arms up in the air like this, and we're going to bask in the glory. Are you excited about that? Yeah, it is the best part. All right, audience, you have one more job. Once I get the yo-yos moving, I'd like you all to make the sound that they make at kickoff at a college football game. So I'll get them going, and then you all go, oh, ah. Right? Okay, let's practice it. Ready? Yes, so exciting. Ariana, can you feel the excitement? Oh, all right, that's fine. Okay, Ariana, if you could take 2 big steps that way for me, please. Yep, one more, 2, perfect, right there. Okay, Ariana, you remember your job, right? Not moving, not looking at me, makes me nervous. Here comes the yo-yo hurricane. Audience, this is your cue. All right, let's hear it for Ariana. Okay, Ariana, take a bow. Now bask in the glory with me. That's pretty awesome, huh? Were you scared? Yeah, that makes 2 of us. You can go back to your seat. Thank you so much. One more time for my brave volunteer. I need another volunteer. And for this one, I need someone who has not been my volunteer before, just because I know there's a couple of you. Let's see, I need someone whose hair is shorter than the top of their ear or tied back really tight. Either way. So let's see, given those constraints, how about, let's see, against the wall. You! Come on down! All right. Hi. How are you? Excellent. What's your name? Riley, nice to meet you, Riley. Riley, have you ever heard the story of William Tell? No? So William Tell is this guy, he lived hundreds of years ago, and he was famous for being a great shot with a bow and arrow. The king heard about this, and the king challenged William Tell to put an apple on his son's head and then shoot it off with an arrow. Yeah, I know, awesome trick, right? Okay, don't try it at home. So we are gonna do that trick, but I didn't bring a bow and arrow because that would be dangerous. Instead, clearly much safer, I brought a yo-yo and I brought this Red Delicious poker chip. So Riley, I'm gonna take this poker chip, I'm gonna put it on your ear, like so. And then I'm gonna take the yo-yo and I'm gonna knock it right off. Give me 5. Kind of a nervous 5. Okay, so Riley, you're gonna hear some sound as the yo-yo goes past your ear. I'm not gonna hit you, so don't freak out. Riley might freak out. So your support is critical here. Your main cue is when you see the poker chip fly, that's your cue to clap, cheer, scream, yell, whistle. You make a whole bunch of noise. And all that noise will help Riley come back down from the heights of freaking out. What do you think, Riley? Is it gonna work? Probably. Okay, I'm just gonna fix the poker chip here. There we go. All right, so you probably just want me to stop talking and do the trick. Yeah, all right, Riley, one last thing. If you lean forward a little bit and point your chin at me, and as I hone in on the poker chip, you can close your eyes for your own safety or stare into mine with resentment. Just don't move. All right, coming in close. Here we go. We did it! Give me 5. Thank you so much. Wow. That was so exciting. Yeah. All right. So, just a few years ago, there was an international yo-yo craze, and it was the result of new yo-yo technology. This yo-yo's got a ball-bearing axle, but it also has the super ball at the end of the string. And the super ball means I don't have to have the string tied to my finger, and that makes new tricks possible that couldn't be done before, like these. And since this is a new style of yo-yoing, people are coming up with new and exciting tricks all the time. I want to show you just a few of my favorites. Check this one out. I know, right? How is it even possible? And my very favorite trick with this yo-yo is named after my favorite piece of ninja hardware, and that, of course, is the nunchucks. But you know, you don't have to use this yo-yo with the super ball at the end of the string. You can use it like a regular yo-yo and tie it to your finger. And I've got another yo-yo in my case here. And in fact, it's a very special yo-yo. It's so special, it gets its own box. I mean, it's a cardboard box, but still, its own box. Yes, friends, behold, Sasquatch. So, I know this isn't actually as exciting for you as it is for me. This is a special yo-yo because it was made specifically for full-time professional comedy yo-yo people like me. There's only 5 of us in the whole country. It's machined aluminum, it's got a ball-bearing axle, it's the yo-yo of the future. It was literally made by robots. So, when I throw it, it'll spin a long time, which means I can put new frills on old favorite tricks like the roller coaster from the 1950s. So to get started with the roller coaster, I'm going to do a pinwheel, and then I'll jump into a rewind, then come over here for a couple Eli hops, and then straight over into the roller coaster. And another cool thing that you can do with a long spinning yo-yo is you can do a whole bunch of tricks in a row without having to throw it down again. So let's see how far I can get. I'll start off with a one-handed star. I'll jump into a two-handed star, Star of David, Eiffel Tower, bow tie, bikini, scissors, British flag, spider web, spider baby, regular baby, piece of pizza, ice cream cone, and it still comes back. Would you like to see my favorite trick? Well, this is another picture trick. See if you can tell who it is.
Luke, I am your father. Give in to the dark side and clean your room.
It's Darth Vader! Exactly. And as long as we're at it, here is another Star Wars trick, just as evil, but a whole lot bigger. The Imperial Star Destroyer. And once people see yo-yo tricks, they want to see the tough ones. One of the tough ones is also the most appropriately named trick. It's called Boingy Boingy. Don't know if you can tell how it got its name. And we'll go from there to a magical one called Mach 5. And one of the big tricks from the World Yo-Yo Contest is called the Atom Smasher. I'll show you the advanced version. You start with a triple pinwheel. You do a split bottom entry, somersault, 3 barrel rolls. There's 2 and 3, one hand under, the other hand under, 1, 2, 3 somersaults. A little extra fanciness because the library is awesome. You get out of it, and you're done. See you later. All right, so I want to tell you a story about a guy I know who works in the circus. And his job there is he is the man on the flying trapeze. His name is Bob. And Bob is quite famous, but not, as you might expect, for his mastery of the trapeze. Instead, Bob is famous for his world-class spaghetti. Well, one day, after work at the circus, Bob was outside walking his circus dog. And since he's a circus dog, naturally, he's a French poodle. Oh, and by the way, poodle's favorite food? French toast with French dressing. Anyway, they were having a nice little walk when all of a sudden, from out of nowhere, appeared a flying saucer. It had bright flashing lights. It swooped down, sucked Bob up, and flew away. Fortunately, though, you ready? Fortunately, Bob's dog escaped. I thought you were ready. Somebody grab it. Okay, throw it in my face, hard as you can. Half as hard, real politely. Nice. Thank you. Ooh. Now, you get another chance. Oh, by the string, like it was on purpose. So, at this point, Bob was trapped up in the alien spacecraft, and he could tell by the way the aliens were looking at him that they were up to no good. It so happens that they had traveled around the world to find a good spaghetti recipe, not because they were hungry, as you might think, but because spaghetti, especially world-class spaghetti, is a key ingredient that you need if you're making an alien death ray. And that's something the aliens want because they want to take over the galaxy. So, in order to get Bob to cooperate and fork over his spaghetti recipe, the aliens put him in a gigantic machine called the Brain Twister. However, due to Bob's vast circus experience, his brain could be twisted no further than it already was, so the machine had no effect. Next, the aliens forced Bob to climb a 300-foot-tall, slimy alien rope, figuring it'd be so difficult and so disgusting that it would break Bob's spirit. But for a trapeze guy, it was no problem. Now, the only thing left for the aliens to try on Bob was a good dose of humiliation. So they dressed him up in a little tiny cowboy hat and the dreaded bikini, and they forced him to holler like a buckaroo. Yahoo! Once again, though, Bob proved too tough for the aliens, and at this point he decided he'd had enough. It was time for a daring escape. So when the aliens weren't looking, Bob took off running. He ran and he ran until he came upon an alien escape pod. He jumped right in, he pushed the big red button, and he escaped. And fortunately, Bob made it home just in time for dinner. So, I've just done a whole mountain of yo-yo tricks. Before I move on with the rest of the show, I'm going to open up the floor to questions and requests. If there's a trick I haven't done you'd like to see me do, if you want to see a trick over again, or if you have a burning question you've always wanted to ask a professional yo-yo guy, raise your hand. This is your chance. Can I throw it down and make it go through my legs? I think so. Ordinarily, yes. This floor is a little bit grippy, so it may be a little bit tough, but we'll give it a try. There it is. In the red hat. Do I know how to do the trick DNA? So I just learned how to do DNA just a month ago at the Midwest Regional Yo-Yo Contest. DNA requires a special yo-yo, which just arrived in the mail last week. The one missing component is, can I do the trick? I don't know that one either. So I practiced it so that I can do it in shows. I know how to do it. Will it work? I don't know. I'm gonna give it 3 tries. Hopefully it'll work. We'll find out. That's not it. Okay, we'll do it again. That was very close. I know, nearly successful. That wasn't it either. Okay, that's right, we got one more try. Possibly more than one more if I don't feel satisfied. There it is. All right, let's move on. More questions. Yes, number 33. Can I go Godspeed? So Godspeed is another awesome trick from the internet. And the point of Godspeed is to train yourself to move your hands as fast as possible for contests. It's very useful for competitors. I am no longer a competitor, so what I do is I go mark speed. Oh, look at that. I look good.
Very good.
All right, let's see, who else? How about in the orange? Yeah. That's a great question. What do professional yo-yo players do after the show is over? Well, the first thing you do is you count the yo-yos and you count the money and you make sure all your props are in your case and make sure they're all in the car and you go home and you unload the car. And then I just do regular people stuff. I pet my dog, I send out contracts, I pay my taxes, you know, the fun stuff. In the back with blue shirt. Yeah. This is the magic one where the yo-yo like hovered right in the middle of the air. Yeah, this one is called Mach 5. All right, we are going to do 2 more in the back. In the white shirt, yep. Have you ever had silly string? Oh, yeah. So you're talking about the yo-yo trick, not the spray can full of string, because I've done that too. It's super fun. Makes a big mess. FYI, sticks permanently to linoleum. So yeah, definitely. So what the question is, Have I ever had spaghetti string or silly string, which is this? Yeah, this is something that happens to every single yo-yo player all the time, happens to me also. And there's two ways to get rid of it. One way is you can let your yo-yo just hang down and let it turn until it stops, but that's pretty slow. The other way, I'm just gonna make it a little more obvious here, give myself some worse spaghetti string. I made it better by accident. Hang on, make it even worse. There we go. So yeah, I keep making it better. How is that possible? It's a brand new string, I guess that's why. There, so that's what happens. This happens to everybody. So the fastest way to get rid of it is to take the string off your finger, pull the string down, and let it do its little hula dance until it's finished. And then once it's finished dancing, you're ready to go. And you may realize I don't do that during the show. That's because as a pro, I've got a couple tricks that I can do to make spaghetti string go away that are not as obvious. So during the show already, I did this one, which is a string adjustment trick. And I just do little adjustments throughout the show. All right, let's see, last one, in the purple stripes. Yep. How long did it take for me to what? To learn all of this. Well, okay, so you can learn tricks in a few minutes. So when you get your hands on a yo-yo, you can learn a bunch of tricks pretty quickly. I've been doing this for 34 years, and I'm still learning new tricks all the time, like DNA. But you can learn a whole bunch of tricks very quickly. When I first started out, I think in my first day, I got up to maybe 2 or 3 tricks. All right, now, if anybody wants to take a piece of the show home with you, I will have yo-yos and spin tops for sale here at the side. I've got a few DVDs as well. They're $10 and $15. I can take cash, cards, Venmo, PayPal. So adults, if your excuse not to buy anything was that you didn't bring any cash, I'm sorry. But you have 20 minutes to come up with a new excuse. All right, I've got a question for you. Does anybody know what this is? It's a spin top. How many people here have ever played with a top that uses string like this? A few people. So the way that this works is you wind the string around it just right. Then, once you've got it all wound up, you throw it through the air and it spins. For the average Joe, the first step is to spin the top on the ground, but I am a trained professional. So I'd like to start things off with a bang. That was the bang. And once the top is spinning, you can do stuff. You can throw it and catch it, you can bounce it off your knee, bounce it off your foot, or if you prefer, you can just strike a pose. Okay. Well, 2 separate times now, I've come in 3rd place in the World Top Spinning Championship. Yes, it's true, there is such a thing. And I'm the current U.S. National Spin Top Champion. I'd like to show you a few of the tricks from those contests. This first one is affectionately known as the corkscrew. This next one is so cool, they can't decide on the name. I like to think of it as 7 years of college. Thanks. Sometimes it appears as though a spinning top breaks the laws of physics. Let me show you what I mean. Look, a top. I'm pointing right at it. Hi, how you doing? Well, as if that weren't exciting enough, to make things even more exciting and to make it easier for everyone to see, I'm not going to show you anything else with the little yellow and orange top. Instead, I want to show you the big red top. That was pretty good, but let's try that again, this time as a group. Together, with gusto, the big red top. Right. The string for this top is 9 feet long. That's 3 feet longer than I am tall. And you know what they say, big string, big top. Anyway, what makes this top cool is not just that it's big and red. You can do most of the tricks with the big top that you can do with the little ones. But when you throw the big top, the throw alone is pretty impressive. So watch this. A lot of top tricks have circus names. This one's called the carousel. I'm not really sure why it is that top tricks have circus names, but my theory is it's because tops are wild and crazy, just like the circus. Either that or it's because they're both intense. Here's another big top trick for you. And this one is called the wire walker. I'm going to do one more trick with this top. I'm going to wind it and spin it, and then once it's spinning, I'm going to put it on the end of this stick, then I'm going to balance the stick on my face, and then you can clap. Sound good? And now, a magic trick. It's gone. So, now that I've introduced you to the gigantic top, I'd like to share with you all my version of a vaudeville tradition known as the combination trick. Simply put, this is a trick where the performer does many different and difficult tasks, all at the same time, just for your entertainment. So, in my left hand, I will be doing loop-the-loop with a yo-yo. At the same time, in my right hand, I'll be juggling these two juggling balls. On my head, I will throw and spin the gigantic top. However, as I know you can all appreciate, I'd like to avoid the bloody hairball, so I brought along this piece of safety equipment. I know, you're all jealous, you want one. And the thing is, it's great with the ladies. All right, so I've got the yo-yo in my left hand, the juggling balls in my right hand, the top spinning on top of the top hat. But wait, there's more. I will also balance precariously on one foot in order to pump with the other foot this foot pump, which is attached to a squeaky balloon. In case you missed that the first time, but wait, there's still more. Yes, every big trick has to have an element of danger. So I brought with me today the most dangerous prop I've ever used. Worse than fire. What I brought with me is the horrible, the terrifying, this Little Mermaid party blower. Oh, I know. I know what you're all thinking. You're thinking, wow, he's really good. Well, it's true. But for this trick, I need another volunteer. I need someone to hand me a couple things. Let's see, how about way in back there's a girl with a sleeveless white shirt with brown hair and a face. Come on down. Let's hear it for my brave volunteer. All right, you stand right there. Hi, how are you? Good, what's your name? Lexi, nice to meet you, Lexi. All right, so Lexi, I'm gonna get the top going on my head. I won't be able to look around, so I need you to hand me a couple things. So in your left hand, hold on to the juggling balls, and then in your right hand, the yo-yo. There are a couple things to keep in mind. One of them is you gotta be sure to stay out of the way of the razor-sharp party blower. You could do that, right? Okay. The other thing is once you hand me those props, I need you to run like the wind. You're looking a little freaked out. You're gonna be okay? What do I mean? You know, just run away from the horrible man. Well, what sets this trick apart from any other combination trick you may have seen is that each aspect of this trick has been specially designed to be really annoying. A little for you, mostly for me, I'll explain. The yo-yo, Lexi, hold the yo-yo up in the air and show it to the people, please. The yo-yo will be mercilessly cutting off the blood supply to the end of my middle finger. The juggling balls, hold those up please, show them to the people. The juggling balls are not only dirty and disease-ridden, but they're also really ugly. The sound of the gigantic top trying to grind into my brain will be amplified by the construction helmet, and this, I believe need no further explanation. How you doing, Lexi? Good, okay. The last thing you're gonna see me do when I finish this trick is I'm gonna reach up on top of my head and grab onto the gigantic top. When I do that, I'd like you all to say out loud something I know you've been thinking this whole time. As if in one voice, I'd like you all to say, wow, he's really good. Yeah, in fact, let's practice that. So I finish the trick and you all say, yeah, I love that part. It's like doing a show for mom. All right, Lexi, you still ready? Okay, take one little step toward me. Just checking. All right, here we go. Oh, and Lexi, for just a second, it may appear as though you're gonna get smacked by the top. Don't worry, it's not gonna happen. I'm a trained professional, and you can tell because I'm the grown man with the Little Mermaid party horn in his mouth. Here we go. All right, hand me the prop. Now run! Run like the wind, Lexi! Great job. All right, applaud quickly. This won't last long. Well, we've got just enough time for one more thing. Are you up for it? Yeah? So, one of the things that I tend to do as a yo-yo man and as a juggler is I tend to come up with unusual uses for everyday objects. And for years, I've felt like a regular household mousetrap had immense unused potential. I figured out how to use one in my show. I have here a regular household mousetrap, and I also have a bag of jet puffed marshmallows. Yeah, I should probably start by saying that the only guy getting any marshmallows is this guy. But the goal here is to set the trap and use it to eat a marshmallow without breaking any fingers. You might have noticed I've added a few things to the trap. It's attached to this transparent base for stability, and then attached to the killing bar is another piece of plastic. This is the marshmallow launching platform. By the word launch, you may be able to tell that the marshmallow will be airborne, so I'm gonna have to stand a few feet away in order to catch it in my mouth. Something still has to trigger the trap though, and that's where the blowgun comes in. Yes, I have here the Avenger Ninja blowgun. It says right on it, warning, this is not a toy and should be used by adults for target or survival use only. I'd say I'm doing both. You can survive off marshmallows, right? Yeah. For me, it was called college. And that brings us to the last thing on the trap, which is just a small target connected to the trigger. So we'll get this set up here. Now it's breaking any fingers. I'm fine. They're all still there. It's a joke. It's like this one. Ow, ow, magic. I know I don't need to say this because I know everyone here is old enough and certainly smart enough to realize it, but I am in fact a trained professional. You should not try this yourselves at home. Are you ready? Here we go. Oh no. Sometimes a performer will miss a trick on purpose just to make it look hard. And now, to further increase the danger, I will use the same marshmallow again. 5-second rule, it's science, and it actually is. They did a real paper on it. All right. Take 2. Are you ready? Ooh, don't worry, I got a whole pocket full. Right in there. But you know, one of my favorite American values is that bigger is better. So if the mousetrap was good, that means the rat trap is better. And from my perspective, we go from the potential for short-term injury to the potential for permanent disfigurement. Permanent disfigurement. And the sound you hear when this trap goes off is actually the sonic boom created when a marshmallow breaks the speed of sound. It's science. Not science, that was a joke. Are you ready? Here we go. In my mouth! Thank you. But you know, as I was saying a little bit earlier, bigger is better. Let me show you what I found. I found a wombat trap. Yeah, and there aren't too many wombats around here, so this was a little tough to get. And I couldn't find a 60-pound behemoth marshmallow to really go with this trap. So instead, I brought along these 3 marshmallow stunt doubles. And this bad boy is rigged up to fire the marshmallow stand-ins at the speed of light right at me, and then I'll juggle. How's that sound? Yeah. Sounds to me like I need something better to do with my time. Well, one thing that this routine has taught me for sure is, boy, am I glad I'm not a wombat. And I know that some of you are wondering, what's a wombat? And I know that because I heard you say, what's a wombat? Well, a wombat is a marsupial, so by definition that means it lives in Australia or nearby, and they may be the cutest animal to ever have lived in the history of the world. They're like living, breathing teddy bears, but they got these big claws and they're mean. But let's get to the important stuff. When a wombat poops, it comes out as a little cube. I don't know how it does it. It's hard. I've tried. But it's true. And there is a legit scientific paper written all about the physical mechanics of how wombats poop comes out in a little cube. So if you in your life have important questions that have important answers like wombat poop, if only there was some place in your community you could go to talk to trained information specialist technologist peoples like the library. You can get your questions answered at the library. So I propose that right after the show, everybody line up at the librarian's desk and ask about wombat poop. All right. The wombat trap is locked and loaded. So you already saw I missed the marshmallow on the mousetrap once. I missed the target with the blowgun once. I don't know if I'm going to get this time. If I don't get it, if I miss this trick, should I go home and cry myself to sleep? Or there is another option. Should I try it again? Yeah, that makes sense. All right, are you ready for it? Okay, here we go. The big finish. This one's gonna be loud. Hey! All right. Well, friends, that brings us to the end of my show. Thank you so much for watching. Two quick things before you go. First of all, my name is Mark Hayward. If you want to learn any of the stuff you saw on the show here today, I have a YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Mark Hayward. I would very much appreciate it if you subscribe and like a bunch of videos. It helps me out a bunch. You can learn how to yo-yo. My beginning yo-yo tutorial video has 1.5 million views. I'm very popular in India. I've also got a spin-top video, and if you want to take a piece of the show home with you, I'm selling yo-yos right over here. They are they're $10 and $15. Thank you all so much. Have a great day.